There's something in the air. In Long Beach, this air is carrying lots of diesel particulates, greenhouse gases, and plenty of environmental injustice. Home to the second busiest port in the U.S., the city's value to the country's economy can only be overshadowed by the impacts it has had in the health and well-being of local communities. When driving in Long Beach, one can usually notice the industrial landscape along its freeways. The 710 Freight Corridor, for example, a major freeway dividing east from West Long Beach, is also a main passageway for trucks distributing goods from the ports to store shelves around the country. This area is also densely occupied by factories and drilling plants, and the smog can be noticed from a distance. The economic, social, and health burdens imposed on local communities, which are constituted of mainly low-class and people of color, are a clear example of environmental injustice.
Generally speaking, in this country, a lot of environmentally problematic facilities tend to be located in places where poor folks live.
Environmental injustice is the unfair treatment and lack of meaningful involvement of all people regardless of race, color, national origin, or income with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policies. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, environmental justice will be achieved when everyone enjoys the same degree of protection from environmental and health hazards and equal access to the decision-making process to have a healthy environment in which to live, learn, and work. Additionally, environmental racism in West Long Beach is rampant. This refers to the institutional rules, regulations, policies, or government and/or corporate decisions that deliberately target certain communities for locally undesirable land uses and lax enforcement of zoning and environmental laws, resulting in communities being disproportionately exposed to toxic and hazardous waste based upon race.
Environmental protection, what they do is a disgrace. Every week they come out with new regulations. They're making it impossible.
Who's going to protect the environment?
We'll be fine with the environment. We can leave a little bit.
Although environmental justice has been recognized and addressed by the state, polluters continue to target marginalized, low-income communities of color, who in return suffer the burden of pollution within their own homes, work, schools, and bodies. As stated by Dr. Robert Bullard, zip code is the most powerful predictor of health, and all communities and zip codes are not created equal. This is explicitly shown in West, Central, and North Long Beach. Residents in these areas are breathing up to 20 times more diesel particulate matter in the air than those just a few miles away in East Long Beach. This same community is also characterized by some of the poorest, unemployed sectors in the city, while having some of the largest rates of asthma in the state. This is mainly due to the large polluting industries in their backyards. Founded in 1911, the Port of Long Beach is responsible for high levels of emission in the area. Each year, the port handles more than 7.5 million 20-foot container units, valued at $194 billion, but it fails to offer truck drivers and port workers a fair wage, further violating labor and human rights. If committing wage theft is not enough, these truck drivers use the I-710 to carry cargo from the port throughout the West. This freeway is also known as the diesel death zone to the community, as it carries significant levels of particulate matter, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, and carbon dioxide up to 1,000 feet away from the freeway. These pollutants are supposed to be monitored under the EPA, yet pollution levels in these areas go above the set standards and are polluting the community's bodies and environment. Although these industries continue to harm these communities, Long Beach is home to a great number of organizations working together to challenge this exploitative system through the power of social action and civic engagement. Through our service learning partnership, we were able to familiarize ourselves with two of them in particular.
Attempting to minimize the negative impacts imposed on local communities, Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy and East Yard Communities for Environmental Justice have been organizing and educating the public so that together they can fight for more inclusive policies that would protect the most vulnerable. Lane's mission is to help build a new economy rooted in good jobs, thriving communities, and a healthy environment. They hope to reach these goals through civic engagement, education, and community empowerment. Some of their campaigns include Our People, Our Port, and Don't Waste Long Beach. These campaigns are mainly centered around workers' rights, access to education, social, and environmental justice. Additionally, East Yard West Long Beach chapter focuses on issues throughout West, Central, and North Long Beach. Their focus is on bringing environmental, social, and economic justice to these communities. Their work includes stopping the polluting industries in their communities, such as the I-710 expansion and the Port of Long Beach, from continuing to degrade their health and the health of their environment. To reach these economic justice in the community, they also work to bring equal access to energy-efficient appliances through the Empower program. The work East Yard and Lane do for their communities help us as a society to move on towards a just transition. All of the burdens and health risks associated with the polluting industries should be shared equally between the communities as a whole, not just the low-income and communities of color industries prey on. After all, the rich are the ones causing the pollution, yet they are not the ones who are suffering the adverse health effects from their actions. They're collecting checks at the expense of health of these communities and the environment. A just transition calls for a change in the system. It calls for stopping at the bad while at the same time building the new. By transitioning from an extractive economic system to a living economy that promotes public participation, we can achieve a just system that works for everyone, independently of their race, gender, or origin. We can achieve policies that promote economic growth while also taking care of people and the environment. By empowering communities, we can foresee a sustainable future for us, our families, and for generations to come.
Community events such as People's State of the City are intended to bring Long Beach communities together, offer access to resources, and allow local residents to express their concerns in regard to decisions that are being made in their communities. These free events are also a great opportunity for residents to see how others are already taking action on local issues, such as environmental justice, housing development, and immigration rights. Through such events, community members can gain a voice and speak up against environmental racism, gentrification, and injustice, while sharing experiences and working together to promote more inclusive projects and policies. ECR Communities for Environmental Justice also hosts monthly community meetings for local residents to learn more about what's going on in their community, how to get involved, and how to voice their concerns. These meetings offer a seat at the table for all community members to express the goods and the bads they've seen and heard throughout the month. With the support of volunteering work, Lane and ECR communities, among other local organizations, have been able to bring the community together through public outreach, thus allowing local residents to learn how they can be an active community member. Events put on by both organizations, such as People's State of the City, provide the true democracy that a just transition framework suggests, to be inclusive of all in the community in order to meet everyone's needs. These organizations are dependent on the volunteer work of the community. If you're interested and would like to engage with their work, the community, and express your voice, here's how to get started. Contact Lane or ECR Community for Environmental Justice through the following websites.